Life is not too short. Today, I am exactly 13,200 days old. And if I live to 90, I still have over 19,000 days left. What kind of huge number is this? So life is not too short. We are just measuring it wrong. Life is actually the longest thing you will ever experience. And watching those videos about spending your petty little life at least meaningfully before regretting it on the deathbed left me feeling like shit, guilty, as if I'm wasting it. But maybe we don't need panic or guilt. Maybe it doesn't matter at all how many years are left. You don't know when it's over anyway. It could be tomorrow or in 19,000 days. What matters is our perspective on this whole being alive thing. And I want to share 3 ideas that help me most of the time to stop freaking out about dying. The first idea is to think in moments, not years. Because counting years is scary. Like, what? My prime time is already over? But let me tell you, it's not. Years are a made-up abstraction. You compress all these experiences you had minute by minute, hour by hour into neat little boxes. But we don't live in boxes. We live in moments. Billions of moments. And moments don't care about clocks or calendars. So what are the moments in your life that you remember dearly? Chances are, even with a rough childhood, that you have unforgettable, nostalgic childhood memories. I still see it clearly. When I moved to Germany with 5 years, I spent days exploring this small foreign village. I was climbing over the fence of the playground and discovered a small stream there. Or those days where the rain was tapping on the window and I was sitting in my small room with the wooden walls and drawing Sailor Moon characters for hours. Or that time at the cinema with my crush as a teenager, it was Final Destination 2. Although it was really cold, I was sweating nervously, and then finger by finger, I took his hand. And then those kind of moments somehow become less and less and less as you grow older. Why? Because you start judging them and you can't turn that off. Your brain has to judge everything. It's a survival mechanism to cope with all these information around us. And that habit is what makes adulting feel hard and depressing. Watch how quickly we judge things in our lives, working efficiently and helping humanity along the way. Meaningful, working overtime and drinking Red Bull the whole night. Meaningless. Getting up at 4 a.m., working out and feeling healthy. Yes! Lying in bed, staring at the wall, feeling depressed. Pointless. Reading Tolstoy's War and Peace for hours. Meaningful. Playing a Doki Doki Literature Club the whole night and falling in love with Monica. Meaningless. Cringe. What bullshit. It's not about what we do, but our judgment. Nothing has a meaning except the meaning you give it. No moment in life is inherently meaningful or meaningless until you decide what it is. For example, the last weeks I was reading mangas on my own, not spending time with friends, not in nature, just reading for hours. I was laughing, I was crying, heartbroken over the death of fictional characters, and yeah, sometimes guilt crept in. Am I wasting my life the last week? Screw that. Instead, I give it a new meaning. I was immersed in the creative work of another human, their drawings, their message, their voice in this world. That's why I keep watching for those small, precious moments day by day by day. And let me leave you with an exercise from my mentor, Jim Forton. 4 hours of silence. No talking, no walking, no journaling, no meditating, no music, no phone, nothing. Just you with you, 4 hours of silence. And if you say, oh, you're too busy, or you're actually afraid of what might come up during those 4 hours, that might be exactly why life feels too short in that moment. And every time I dare to do this exercise, I am actually reminded of how long a moment can feel. The second insight that's really close to my heart is live for presence, not legacy. That's me with my grandma Nina, my malinkaya babushka, my little grandma. She didn't have it easy. She fled a concentration camp as a child. She lived through war, worked hard as a teacher. And what I remember most about her is twofold. Oh, Martina, you are cold. Wear warmer clothes. Eat more. You are hungry. I do everything for you. Ach, I don't need anything, no presents, nothing. Save your money. I am going to die soon anyway. What I remember most is seeing her from behind in the kitchen, always busy doing something. And then there were also other moments. Picking potato beetles off plants in her garden in Lithuania. Stories she told me from when she was on a teacher training and she and her class got lost in the Siberian woods. Or how she taught me German with poems by Goethe and Heinrich Heine. And the final moment, 2 months before she passed, we sat in her room and shared a cake. Like she knew what was coming. That was the last cake. She was really there with me. And I was really there with her. She wished me the best for my future. In that moment, she let me go, live life my way, as a grandmother, as a wise woman, not the worrying caretaker. The reason I am telling you this story is what I cherish the most aren't her selfless values or what you might call her legacy, her story, but the rare moments where she, despite all the tragedy in her life, enjoyed herself and shared that with me. That's what stayed with me. That's what matters, even now after her death. People say, leave a legacy. But a few months after you are gone, life simply moves on for everybody. You're dead anyway. And that's not cruel. It's just life, right? So be there, alone, with others, with your dog. Be present with what you enjoy. And third, there is nothing to win in life. One thing we didn't do as kids was rushing. Some days felt like they lasted forever. And nowadays, I sometimes feel like I have to catch up, like I'm in a race to build this meaningful life. Otherwise, on my deathbed, I will be punished and sent to hell by the great judge of legacy and meaningfulness. You may pass, you may not. And hearing that life is too short only adds more pressure. But who even said that time was running out? I declare here and now, your soul is not in a hurry. There is nothing to miss. There is nothing to win in the end. Take it slow. This whole YOLO idea is a recipe for stress and anxiety. Sure, we want some adventure in our life, and that's great, but we also need time to integrate. And that's the paradox about life, right? We live like we'll never die, yet we fear running out of time. But immortality is a lie. And so is urgency. It's never too late. Not at 30, not at 50, not even at 90. It's only too late the moment you decide it for you. And the media doesn't help at all. This obsession with youth. Anime and manga were always part of my life. And what I don't love is that most stories make it seem that life ends when you're adult. Most protagonists are under 20, be it Attack on Titan, Sailor Moon, Demon Slayer. They are minors, but they act and think like grown-ups, because apparently, like, once you have Wrinkles, your hero's journey is over. No adventure, just taxes and work. And I also know some of you might say, you don't get it. I'm in chronic pain. I'm traumatized. I'm just exhausted. And that's real. I've seen many comments like that underneath those videos, and I'm reminded of dear friends of mine, even if it's just a quiet walk in the forest, a movie scene that lets you cry out everything, or a favorite metal song on your headphones that silences the world. That is meaningful enough. That one moment is enough. You don't need to feel guilty as if you somehow have to justify how you spent your life, because nobody has it figured out. Neither those wise YouTubers nor the successful motivational speakers. This messy dance between meaningful and meaningless, between a human with purpose and a purposeless drop in the ocean, that is what life is about. So when I hear this threat, one day on your deathbed, you will wish you lived differently. Do something meaningful today. That's not inspiring motivation, but there is a small truth underneath. Being aware that you are on your way to death, which is called mortality salience, can shift how you live today. Not through pressure, not through panic, but by asking what moments are worth being present for. Which people, places, activities are worth your life energy. I read a quote on Reddit that stuck with me. When people think about traveling to the past, they worry about radically changing the present by doing something small in the past. But hardly anyone in the present thinks that they can radically change the future by doing something small now. So pick one idea from this video that resonated with you. Or don't. Just go find one moment to enjoy today. That's more than meaningful enough in this long life.